Everybody, I'm here today with an easy driving lesson on safe road positioning in a car. In this video, I will be going over the basics of positioning yourself safely on the road while driving a car. Now, there are basically two situations in which you can be driving on the road. The first is when you're actually in a lane. So when you're in a marked lane with lane lines, okay? Whether it is a single carriageway road or a dual carriageway, meaning like one lane in either direction or two lanes in either direction. If you're in a marked lane, that's the first situation. The second situation is if you are on sort of an unmarked laned road, a non-laned road. So I'm going to go over the first one, which is a non-laned road right here. So what you want to do is you want to essentially drive towards your side of the road. So I drive on the right side of the road where I live. So I'm going to drive towards the right of the road. But since there's no markings on the road, you're driving a little bit more towards the center. So you're driving, on the right side of the road, but slightly towards the center, okay? Not in the center, just slightly towards the center. Let's turn the camera. I didn't think about doing this, but I actually can show you the road. So we're just on this back alleyway road over here. Nobody drives down this road. So I'm going to start driving. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm essentially driving on the right side of the road, okay? But I'm towards the center, okay? So if this had lane lines, I would be a little bit more towards the right like this. But because there's no lane lines, I'm going towards the center like that. So I'm roughly on the right side of the road, slightly towards the center. That's the easiest way to put it, okay? Just like that. But here's the thing. You have to be willing to move. So for instance, there's a parked car on the side of the road up ahead. So what I do now is I move towards the center, provided that there's no car in the oncoming lane of traffic, okay? Then I move back towards the right. If there was a car in the oncoming lane, I would go towards the curb side, towards the right. I'm going to turn over here. Now, this is a much tighter road, so you got to judge the road. This is a much tighter street. Now, because this street is much tighter, I'm staying more towards the curb. Okay, more towards the curb than it was on the last street, because the last street, I was actually a little bit slightly towards center. There is a parked car on the side of the road over here, so I'm going to go towards the center, okay? And then I'm going to go back, I'm going to veer back towards the curb. So basically on a non-marked lane, non-laned road, where there's no lane markings, you want to stay on your side of the road, but slightly towards the center, okay? Now, I'm driving on a road with the lane. So there are marked lanes right here. I'm driving on sort of a main road. Now, what you want to do is you want to position yourself in the middle, roughly, of that laneway. So there is probably about 2 feet from my car to the curb and 2 feet from my car to the lane line. So I'm like right in the middle. Now I'm going to switch over to this turning lane over here. Same thing, in this turning lane, I'm roughly in the center of the lane, okay? Now as I make this turn over here, I'm back on a non-laned road. So now I'm driving on the right side of the road, but slightly towards the center. Let's see if I can turn the camera a little bit more so you can see where I'm driving. So as you can see right here, I'm on the road, and I'm driving on the right side of the road because that's the side that I drive on where I live. But I'm just ever so slightly towards the center, and I'll explain why. Now you can see the road. If the road had lane markings, I would drive like this, a little bit closer to the curb. But because there's no lane markings, that sort of allows me to drive a little bit towards the center. I would say I'm 1 foot closer to the center of the road than I would be regularly, okay? If there was lane lines. That's it. It's literally that simple. I mean, that's as simple as it is when it comes to safe road positioning while driving. All that you got to do is figure out, number one, if you are on a laned road with lane markings or not. Once you've determined that, then you can figure out where you have to drive within your driving area. And I've told you exactly why you have to do that. And obviously, like I said, if you're on a non-laned road, an unmarked road with no lane markings, then you have to be willing to move away from a parked car or even away from an oncoming car, a car that's driving in the oncoming lane of traffic, in the oncoming direction. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.